everyone, welcome to this week's session. I hope everyone is feeling well and healthy as usual. For those of us who don't know me, my name is Linadia. I'll be a yoga teacher for the next half hour or so. Just as last week's session was a contrast to the week before that, this week's session is also going to be a contrast from last week's session. We're going to be moving slow as well, but this time we're going to be focusing more on the stretching aspect, as said in the title. We're not going to not put in much effort, although even stretching is quite a bit of effort. But like I said, stretching is really just going to be the focus. I keep on forgetting to say this, but if it's cold where you are, please make sure you have a blanket nearby so you can cover yourself at the end. Or maybe you're doing it in the sun, and then the sun can be your blanket. But yeah, all right, we're going to start off the same way we did last week. So we're going to start off sitting on your toes. I know some of you may hate me for this, but I promise you there are benefits. So sitting up on your toes, and then same as last week, if it becomes too much, you can come forward onto your hands, wiggle through the fingers and toes, or rather wiggle through the toes, twist through the feet, and then come back. I do encourage you to hold on to it as long as you can, because the longer we hold it, the longer we practice, the more we can hold it for longer. So as usual, we just start off by bringing ourselves into our present moment, feeling the space, becoming aware of our space where we are, becoming comfortable with where we are. If we would like, creating a little bubble around us. Just deciding that in this time, in this space, this is just time for you, for your mind, and for your body. And as we begin, I'd like us to start off with some gratitude, thanking ourselves for just even initiating to have this time for ourselves, being grateful for this practice. Being grateful for this moment. If you'd like to have your hands in a mudra here, you can. And then bringing the mind into the body, relaxing all through the body, relaxing from the top of the head down through the face and the neck, the shoulders, the arms, the torso, into the hips, down the legs, into the feet. Well, relaxing as much as you can, down the legs into the feet. The point of this is just to make sure that we're not holding any unnecessary tension. Bringing the mind to the breath, not placing any judgment on the breath, just being aware, feeling as the air comes in and as it comes out of the body. And then we come to set our intention for the practice ahead. Your intention can be anything, whether it be on or off the mat. And then with our intention, we breathe a deep breath into our bellies. And slowly exhaling, pulling the belly back in towards the spine, pushing the air out. Continuing with that, Taking some nice deep breaths. If you're familiar with your Ujjayi breath, starting with that. And then just rolling through the neck. If you'd like, you can just take a break, twisting through the ankles before we start with the rolling through the neck. And then once you come back, just rolling through the neck, making big circles with the head. Taking deep breaths. And then change directions. Big roll through the shoulders. Try to make your roll as big as you can. And then once again, changing directions. And then inhale, bring the arms up. And then you're going to exhale, bring the elbows far apart from each other into our cactus arms. Inhale, bring the arms forward, rounding the back. Really exhaling, bringing the belly in. I'm going to face you so you can see what that looks like from here. So we inhale, bring the arms up. Exhale, cactus arms. Inhale here, exhale, bring the arms forward, rounding the back. And then inhale, drop the arms. Again, I'm going to face forward on my mat. And then keeping the toes tucked if you like. We are keeping it longer this time. So just stretching through the ankles. This next move is not an essential, it's not a must, but I would definitely recommend it. So with your tucked toes, you're going to inhale, come forward into a child's pose, but with your toes tucked. You'll feel that it's a bit different than a normal child's pose. Still making an effort to push the bum onto the heels, to reach the fingers forward, breathing, taking deep breaths, and then inhale, roll the spine, come up onto the hands and knees. Now we properly rest through the feet, untuck the toes, tapping the feet onto the floor, twisting through the ankles, make sure to do in both directions, wiggling through the toes, and then with our untucked toes coming back into our child's pose. See how different it feels if you did try the other one. Breathing here, breathing into the back. And you can choose whether you're doing a wide-legged child's pose, a narrow-legged child's pose, maybe something a little bit in between. Taking deep breaths. And then you can even come onto the fingertips. You can alternate fingertips, or you can come up onto both. Breathing. And then you're going to inhale, keeping the chest close to the floor. Come forward. And then we're going to drop the belly onto the mat. And then inhale, push ourselves up into our cobra. Tuck the toes, come up into your downward dog. Walking the feet. Taking some nice deep breaths here. Really opening up through the backs of the legs, opening up through the chest. Breathing. And then solidifying, so pressing the feet into the floor, pressing the chest down towards the floor. Make sure the palms are all the way pressed into the floor. Can't even get a paper underneath your palms. And then you're going to inhale, roll the spine, come forward into your plank. Exhale, come onto your knees, dropping the chest, keeping the bum up in the air, and then the chin. And then we inhale, push ourselves forward into our cobra once again. And then this time lift up the knees into your upward dog. Inhale, and then exhale. See if you can come up with the feet exactly like that. Some of us might not be able to get our hips this high. Some of us might just be here. The intention here is to stretch through the front of the ankles. Breathing. Taking deep breaths. And then exhale, release the hips back down, back up. The head comes back up. And then look towards the one foot. And then looking towards the other foot. And then now we tuck the toes, come back into our downward dog, placing the feet firmly on the floor, pushing the heels into the floor. And then now we move the hips side to side, stretching through the side of the body. Breathing. Inhale, bend the knees, look in between the hands. Exhale, walk or jump feet in between hands. Inhale, come up halfway. Exhale, fold. So coming down into a deep fold. And then we grab the elbows and then just moving side to side. You can even walk the feet here if you feel comfortable doing that. Just releasing through the head slightly. And then inhale, come up halfway once again. Exhale, plant the hands, step both feet back. Inhale up here. Exhale, coming down through your version of choice, knees, chest and chin, or your full chaturanga. Inhale up. Exhale into your downward dog, and then we're going to immediately bring the right foot in on our inhale. And then relax the back knee, relax the back foot. Just make sure you've got the right positioning here. Knee above ankle, got a nice angle here with the hips so we can feel through the stretch. Inhale, bring the arms up. Interlace the fingers, bring them behind the head. And exhale, releasing the head back, coming into a slight back bend. Opening up the elbows, drawing them far away from each other. Breathing. And then exhale, release the hands back. Come forward, placing the hands on the mat. And then we place the left hand down. Right hand comes behind us and we open up through the hip. So we bring the right foot onto its side, opening the knee. Breathing here. And then come back forward. Keep the hand up in the air, tuck the back toes. And then straighten the back leg. Arm comes overhead. And you want to sort of bend through the top of the body so you can feel the stretch. Breathing. Exhale, releasing the hand back down to the other side of the foot. Step that back foot forward a bit. Bring the hand to the inside of the leg. You might want to have your block here underneath the foot. Underneath the hand. And then we inhale, come up with the left hand into our triangle pose. Taking deep breaths. Inhale, bring the hand over the head once again. So the same we did on the other side. And then sort of try to round through the top of the body, feeling a nice stretch. If you'd like to make this into a nice strength pose, you can bring the bottom arm up as well. But today we're focusing on the stretching. And then exhale, release the top hand down. The other hand comes to the outside of the foot. And then we release the head forward into our pyramid pose. If your hands can't comfortably reach the floor and you don't have a block, you can place them on the shin, holding yourself up here. Just make sure that you've got some looseness here in the knee. And then you breathe here, making sure you've got a nice flat back. And then untuck the back toes, bring the back leg back a little bit so we can bring the right foot back, and we come back up into our downward dog. Inhale, roll the spine, come forward. On your exhale, coming down. Inhale, coming back up. Exhale, back into your downward dog, and we go straight onto the other side. So on your inhale, bring the left foot in between hands. Relax the back toes, relax the back knee. And then same thing on this side. Inhale, bringing the arms up, interlacing the fingers, bringing them behind the head. Exhale, leaning back. Drawing the elbows far away from each other, taking deep breaths here. And then release the arms down, placing the right hand onto the floor, opening up through the left foot, and then the left hand comes behind us. So we're opening up through the left hip, breathing. And then we're gonna tuck the back toes, bring the front foot back onto its sole, and then our front hand comes up and over, stretching through the side of the body. And then exhale, bring the hand down, bring the back foot a step forward, straightening the front leg, placing the left hand on the inside of the leg. Right arm comes up into our triangle pose. Taking deep breaths. And then we bring the hand over, rounding through the top of the body, seeing if you can really find that stretch through the side of the body here. If you'd want to challenge yourself, make it a bit into strength, you can lift up the bottom arm. Breathing. And then we release the hand. Left hand comes to the outside of the back leg. Inhale. Inhale, lengthen through the spine. Exhale, fold. If you'd like, you can have your hands on your shin with a flat back here. Just make sure that this front knee is loose. Breathing. Enjoying the breath. And then we're just going to come forward a bit and then step the leg back so we can step the left foot back to meet the right. Inhale up here, coming down through our version of choice. Inhale up. Exhale into a downward dog. Breathing here. Pressing the heels into the floor, pressing the palms into the floor. Inhale, bend knees, look in between hands. And then just stay here just for a second. You can even relax the head just for now. Breathe, feel the stretch through the shoulders. Now looking in between hands, and on your exhale, step, walk or jump feet in between hands. And then we do the same here. So inhale, come up halfway. Exhale, folding. And then you can just hold on to the opposite elbows and just hang. Breathing. You can rock side to side if you like. Just make sure that the head is nice and relaxed. You can bend the knees if you need. Just place the fingertips on the mat, heel toe the feet outward. And we're going to come down into our yogic squat. Placing the hands at the heart, using the elbows to push the knees out. Breathing. Making sure you're sitting up nice and tall. Imagine you've got a string up at the top of your head and something is pulling you up. You can sway side to side here if you like. Once again, just enjoying the breath. You can place the hands behind you and straighten the legs, coming down onto your bum, bringing out the bum flesh. I promise it helps you sit up taller, maybe even helps you go a bit deeper into the pose. Inhale, bring the arms up, and then exhale, we come forward into our seated forward fold. Paschimottanasana. And in our forward fold, or in any forward fold for that matter, we want to try to maintain a straight back. So what I always like to say is you come forward with a straight back, and once you reach your stopping point, we then relax the head. So the back remains straight, it's just the head that relaxes. And then here, we flex the feet. If you can, reach for the toes. If you can't reach the toes, you grab onto the ankles. Or if you can comfortably reach your toes, grabbing onto the sides of the feet, or you can even come all the way around and come into a bind. Breathing. On our exhale, we're going to round the spine, coming up into our seated position with our back up and straight. We're going to bring our left foot underneath the bum. So let me face you so you can see. The left foot comes underneath the bum, right foot to the outside of the left knee. You're going to bring the right hand behind you, inhale up with the left arm, and then exhale into a twist, where you can hold onto the leg in your twist. Looking as far behind you as you can, taking deep breaths. Making sure you're sitting up tall here, and making sure that you're breathing. And then we inhale, untwist the body, come forward, and then we just immediately swap sides. So now the right foot comes underneath the bum, left foot to the outside of the right knee, left hand behind us. Inhale up with the right hand, exhale into our twist. Once again, making sure you're sitting up tall and making sure that you're breathing. And we really pulling or pushing the knee into the body. So whether you're holding onto the knee or whether you've got your elbow on the other side of the knee, you're really moving the knee towards the body. Breathing. And then inhale, untwisting the body. And then we come back into our forward fold. So again, arms come up. Exhale, folding forward. See if you can maybe go a bit deeper this time. If you did your bind, doing the bind now on the other side, so holding onto the other wrist. On your inhale, on your exhale, we roll the spine, coming back up. Coming up, sitting up straight. And then come forward on the mat just slightly. You're going to bring your palms upward, place them underneath the bum. We're resting on our elbows. Point the toes. Inhale, draw the shoulders backward, puff out the chest, relax the head back into our fish pose. And then exhale, release the spine, hugging the knees in. We're going to come into our glute stretch. So placing the right ankle over the left knee. Right hand comes in between the legs, left hand to the outside, interlacing the fingers around the left knee. Inhale, and we pull the left knee inward, flexing both feet. And if you'd like to feel a bit more of a stretch, you push the right knee outward with the right elbow. And if you'd like to feel even more of a stretch, you can lean towards the left. Breathing. We're going to the other side, so placing the left ankle over the right knee, left hand comes in between the hands, right hand to the outside of the right knee, interlacing the fingers. Inhale, on your exhale, pulling the knee in. If you'd like to feel more of a stretch, you push the left knee out with the left elbow, and or you lean towards the right. Breathing. Flexing both feet. And then we inhale, come onto our backs, hug the knees in just for one last time, and grabbing onto the outsides of the feet if you can reach them, bringing the soles of the feet up into the air, into our happy baby, pulling the knees into the armpit, and then just swaying side to side. Releasing the legs. Now we straighten the legs. Releasing the hands. The feet are laying open, palms facing upward, shoulders away from the ears. Lifting up the head, bringing the chin in slightly, and we drop the head back down. Breathing. If your back is maybe feeling a bit tender, you can bring the soles of the feet up onto the mat. Turn the toes so that they're pointing towards each other. And then we rest the knees on top of one another. Or the other option is that you rest with the soles of the feet together with the knees open. But this one isn't so much for the tender back, more like if you just want to open up through the hips. And we breathe. If it's cold where you are, this is where you put on your blanket. And then we just allow the body to relax, scanning through the body, making sure each part of the body is relaxed. Once we do so, or once we've done so, we just Allow the body to sink down into the floor, surrendering to gravity. And once the body is relaxed, we come to relax the mind. And we do so by focusing on the present moment. And in this present moment, all that we are doing is laying on the floor and breathing. If you'd like to stay here for longer, please do. Otherwise, if you're waking up with me, starting to wiggle through the fingers and toes, flopping the feet side to side, flopping the head side to side. And whenever you feel ready, bringing up the knees. And then we turn over onto one side, pushing ourselves up. Oh. Coming up to seated. Just taking a moment. Bring the hands to the sides. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, hands come down to your heart. And again, inhale, arms up. Exhale, hands come down to your heart. Last time, biggest breath. And we exhale, bringing the hands down to the heart. Take some time to reflect back on the intention that you may have set at the beginning of the practice. And to thank yourself for dedicating this time to your mind and to your body. Now, thank you guys so much for joining me. Namaste. Thank you guys so much for joining me. If you haven't already, please make sure to subscribe so that you are aware of every session that I post every week. And sometimes they might be a little something new, like this week. So yeah, make sure you subscribe. Let me know how you found it by leaving a comment below. And yeah, I'll see you guys next week. Have a lovely week.